Have you ever felt completely alone, even when the world around you was full of people? This is the story of a man who lost everyone, but found God and found himself. Stay with me. There comes a moment in a man's life when the noise of the world suddenly goes silent. For Thomas, that moment came on a cold winter morning. His father had just passed away. The house felt empty, too empty. His heart felt heavy, too heavy. Thomas stood outside their small stone home at the edge of the village. The fields were quiet. The river was still. And for the first time, he realized he was truly alone. His father had been his teacher, his protector, his only friend, and now he was gone. Thomas whispered, "What do I do now?" But the wind carried no answer. Thomas had 2 older brothers. He thought they would stand with him. He believed they would help him. He was wrong. The day after the funeral, they arrived with cold eyes. No warmth, no comfort, no grief, only greed. "This land belongs to all of us," his eldest brother said. "In the workshop, too," the second brother added. Thomas stepped forward. "But Father wanted me to continue his work." "We don't care," the elder snapped. "You take the small cottage near the forest." Nothing more. Thomas froze. The world stopped. They took his father's tools. They took the workshop. They took the land. They even took the respect Thomas believed he had earned through years of hard work. Before he could even speak, his brothers turned their backs and walked away. They didn't look back, not even once. Thomas moved into the old cottage. The roof leaked. The walls trembled in the wind. It smelled of dust, rain, and forgotten years. At first, he tried to reconnect with friends in the village. He smiled. He greeted them. He tried to join their conversations. But people treated him differently now. He had no land, no money, no family support, no future. One evening, Thomas saw his old friends laughing in the village square. He walked toward them with a small, hopeful smile. But when they saw him, the laughter faded. One looked away. Another pretended to be busy. A third whispered something, and they all turned their backs. Thomas stopped mid-step. His hands shook. His throat tightened. He felt like a ghost. Walking among the living, he whispered to himself, "Am I truly that worthless?" That night, Thomas sat alone in the dim light of the cottage. The fire was weak. Cold air filled the room. His heart ached. He thought of his father, his smile, his voice, his hands guiding his own. Tears fell. Slow, silent, he said, "Father, I don't know what to do. I have no one. I am no one." Silence. Painful. Empty. And then something happened. Inside that silence, something stirred. Something gentle. Something not outside, but inside his chest. A voice. Still, "You are not alone. I am here." Thomas looked around. The room was empty, but he didn't feel empty anymore. For the first time in weeks, he closed his eyes and prayed, "If you truly are here, please help me. Not with money, not with people. Just give me strength to stand again." Then he slept, not peacefully, but not broken either. Thomas woke before sunrise. His eyes were swollen, but his heart felt different. He stepped outside. Cold air touched his face, but he felt something warm inside, a quiet courage. He looked at the cottage, broken, old, falling apart. It felt like his life, but he whispered, "I will rebuild, even if I must start from nothing." He gathered old pieces of wood. He patched the roof. He filled the wall cracks with clay from the river. He washed the floor. He cut logs. He rebuilt the tiny table. His hands blistered. His back ached. His stomach was often empty. Some nights he cried. Some evenings he doubted. Some mornings he wondered if he was fooling himself. But every time weakness came, he remembered the quiet voice. "You are not alone." And so he worked, day after day, step by step, nail by nail. I pray by one afternoon, Thomas heard a loud noise on the road. A wagon wheel had broken. A traveling merchant stood outside, looking desperate. "Please," the merchant said, "can you fix this? I will pay whatever I can." Thomas looked at the broken wheel. He had no proper tools, but he had experience. He had determination. He had the skills his father had placed in his hands. He nodded. For hours he worked, cutting, shaping, binding, strengthening. He used rope, old iron scraps, and pure focus. When he was done, the wheel was stronger than before. The merchant stared in awe. "Who taught you this?" Thomas paused. He thought of his father, his brothers, feeling his loneliness. Then he said softly, "God did," through the silence. The merchant paid him generously and told everyone in the neighboring villages about the humble young man. Living near the forest, people started coming. A farmer who needed a plow repaired, a widow who needed a door fixed, a couple needing furniture, a traveler needing tools. Thomas worked faithfully, quietly, honestly. He didn't do it for fame. He didn't do it to prove himself. He didn't do it for revenge. He did it because he had learned something powerful. When a man has no one but God, he discovers who he truly is. Years passed. His name spread across the region, not as a man who lost everything, but as the man who created everything from nothing. He built chairs, tables, frames, doors, hope, yes, and his own identity. He found peace, not in comfort, but in purpose. One afternoon, Thomas heard footsteps outside. It was his brothers, but they were not proud anymore. Their shoulders were low. Their eyes were soft. Their voices trembled. "Thomas," the eldest said, "we were wrong. We are sorry." The second whispered. The old Thomas would have cried in anger or turned away. But this Thomas was different. His Thomas had been rebuilt by God. His Thomas had learned forgiveness. In the dark places of his soul, he smiled gently. "When you left me with nothing, I was scared, but God gave me everything I needed: strength, purpose, peace." His brothers left humbled, and Thomas returned to his work with a calm heart. Maybe you feel like Thomas. Maybe people walked away. Maybe family hurt you. Maybe your life fell apart. Maybe you sit in silence, hoping for one voice to tell you you are not alone. So listen carefully. Your loneliness is not a punishment. It is preparation. Your silence is not your ending. It is the place where God shapes you. When the world walks away, God walks closer. When people forget you, God remembers you. When everything is taken, He gives you what cannot be taken: strife, purpose, peace, identity. You are not broken. You are being built. If this story touched your heart, don't walk alone. Subscribe to Inner Tales. Every story here is a lesson. Every lesson is a step toward a calmer, stronger, a better life. Let's walk together. God bless you.